on media day. Me and you talked a lot about, you coming in, you fighting for the starting job. Now you have it. What are some things that you've learned going from that transition of, being the backup guy to now being the main guy on campus?
It's just me having way more confidence in myself. Me going through that competition last year, I had confidence in myself, but at the same time, when you're going through a competition, you tend to look over your shoulder at the next guy and see what he's doing. And that's what I caught myself doing a lot last year in fall camp, just knowing that I wanted to win. Obviously, I didn't get that done, but I knew once I got my opportunity, I wasn't looking back, and that's what happened. So just me being QB1 for almost a year now, it's a good feeling, and I'm really looking forward to how the season coming this year.
So now knowing that you are the starter and are that guy, does that help you, kind of reassure yourself and allow you to kind of, teach some of the guys under you, like Pop and, some of the other guys that have come in? Yeah,
that's all I've been doing is just being like another coach on the field. Like I said, just me learning this offense for over a year now. I really know the offense like the back of my hand, so it's just me being confident in myself and then being another coach on the field, helping the young guys, whether that's the quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, just making sure everybody knows what to do, and then just helping everybody get better.
How has that offensive line improved in just every facet, in your opinion?
I've seen those guys work to get better each and every day. A lot of people have been doubting them, saying that the O-line's been bad, but I never believe that. So I trust my O-line, and I'm glad they put the work in. Just them having the experience of playing a whole year together. Luckily, nobody got hurt. That's fortunate for us, and then just I'm ready for them to go out there and just show people what they've been doubting.
So who, in your opinion, on this team is kind of flying under the radar, not getting as much attention as they probably should?
Offense or defense?
Either one, man.
Offense, I would say receiver Aiden Green. He probably had the best spring out of all the receivers last year, so I'm really looking forward to what he can do for us this year. And on defense, I would say young guy-wise, I would say Mose Phillips and Q Reddish. They just been making plays since they got here, so I'm really looking forward to what they can do too.
What does it mean to have a veteran presence like Ollie Jennings back on the field and Nick Gallo and guys like that?
It feels good. Just I'm not the only guy making sure that people know what to do and just teaching the offense. Like Ali can help the receivers, even though he didn't play a lot last year, and I never got to play with him. So I'm excited to go out there and play with him. And Gallo the same way. Just him being here for a long time, knowing the offense for a long time, just going out there, making sure people get better, and we just always want the same goal, and that's to win games.
There's a lot of parity with guys returning from last year to this year, but what about this team is different from last year's team?
I think the difference from this team and last year's team is, I think we're more hungry this year. I think we ended off on a good note last year, but just a year later, building and working with each other, and the competition level compared to last year is at an all-time high. So I think that's the biggest difference. You push guys that push other guys, and it's definitely worked for us.
So I know we don't want to look too far ahead, but you guys get to go to a lot of really neat places this year. Is there a particular stadium or team that you're looking forward to facing, or place that you're looking forward to visiting this season?
I haven't really thought about it. Just kind of been in the loop about Vanderbilt week 1, so it's kind of been where my head is, and that's where I'm at right now.
What's the biggest thing you do to prep for your game this year?
I'd say number one thing is take care of myself, take care of my body. Rehab as much as I can, ice when I can, use the tubs a lot. So that's kind of been a huge part of me staying healthy, keeping my game at an all-time high, and being able to be available.
Earlier you talked a lot about the offensive line and their development. I was just wondering if you could, kind of further elaborate on like the things that they have done this offseason that have really kind of helped you guys move forward, and the things that you think that they're capable of this season.
I think they definitely tackled the weight room with a positive mindset. I've seen those guys in there pumping huge weights, much more than what they were last year. Like I said, they're up in weight. I asked all of them at the beginning of the camp, where you at compared to last year with your weight? I heard a lot of positives. I'm up in weight compared to last year, so it's been a great thing to hear, along with their mental capacity of the playbook and their communication. It's been at a great level. We're 5 days in the camp, and I've seen a huge difference in communication and them chatting to sort out, D-line fronts and defenses. So it's kind of been a great deal for us, and I'm glad they took that in the right steps.
Who's the most underrated player, kind of under the radar player that you kind of wish got a little bit more attention going into this season?
I'd definitely say Aiden Green. We saw a glimpse of him last season, the bowl game. He made a great catch. I think he's been working his tail off to be on that starting lineup, and I think he's someone that can come off and contribute to us a huge deal.
So there's so much parity from last year coming into this year with especially on the offense with a lot of those guys returning. With that being said, what is this team's ceiling? What is this team capable of? You've got so many people returning and so much, wise veteran presence coming back.
Yeah, I think we don't try to put too much on ourselves as far as thinking of the goals and expectations. We know what we can do. I feel like at the end of the day, if we play our brand of ball, we do what we're supposed to do, and we can accomplish anything we want. So it's at the end of the day, it's what we do, how we go out and execute. If we do what we need to do, we can be that team we want to be, win the ACC, go to the playoffs. We can do anything we want to do, but if we're not, it's all going to start right there.
So, at this point in your career, you're kind of one of the vets now. You're able to kind of talk to, some of the younger guys and kind of, teach them, kind of what you've learned through this. Is there any of the younger guys that have really stood out to you coming into this year's camp?
Yeah, my guy, I say Mose Phillips. He's not a corner, but he's a safety. But he's kind of the younger guy last year, but he's in that starting role this year. And I go work with him hand in hand, and I'm really proud of that guy. His maturity, and it's someone I can really trust now. And even the back end now, we got guys like Braylon, T. Will, Dante stepping up. So we feel like this camp, we're starting to build a lot of depth and a lot of trust in guys this year based off of how they perform.
Over the course of a couple years now, you've kind of built some positional versatility, so to speak. How does that help you when it comes to in the game and being able to understand what each position group is supposed to be doing?
I know everyone's role. So if I'm at corner, I know the Will's job, the backer's job, the safety's job. I know what I have to do and what I have to perform. So I think it's just good to know what everyone's responsibility is. It allows you to play faster, and I know what other guys are thinking.
Is there a position group this camp that has really kind of stood out to you as far as improvement or even just in general?
Yeah, everybody's doing well, but like I said, I work hand in hand with the defensive line. Pass and rush go together, and those guys, they wreak havoc back there. That just makes my job easy. So I'm really excited to see those guys can do this coming forward.
Absolutely. Is there a place that I know you guys don't look too far ahead, but you guys get to go to a lot of really cool places this season. Is there a particular place that you're looking forward to visiting?
Sure, I don't even know the whole schedule, to be honest. But I'm just excited to go to Nashville. That's where we started off, and I'll start there, and we'll go from there.
All right.
Sure.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a pleasure. So there's a lot of parity from last year's team to this year's team on both offense and defense, and even special teams. But what about this year's team is different than last year's team?
I feel like for one thing, we're a lot older. We understand the game a lot more because we were a year in, and not only are we older, we play with each other for a full season. Of course we lost a couple guys in the middle, but for the most part, we got most of our team. So being able to be that year older with each other is good.
So every year that Pry has been here and that you guys have played, you've gotten to the quarterback more and more. How much of a mentality is that going into this season of we have to get to the quarterback?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a priority for us. It always has been a priority for us. So being able to go get the quarterback is big for us this year, like it is every year. We definitely plan on doing that a lot this year. So
What is probably the most improved position group that you've seen throughout camp?
The most improved, I'll probably give it to the tight ends because for one of them been hurt. Benji, he's been hurt for a good little minute. He had a major injury, so he's came back and he's actually been doing better than from when he came back. So that's a good thing. Not just them, really all the tight ends. We got Jerikas, we got Zeke. It's all the tight ends. I feel like they came and decided they wanted to get better this fall camp.
So is there a player that you've kind of noticed that's kind of flying under the radar, not getting like as much attention like you feel like they should?
You saying like anywhere on the
Anywhere.
team? I'll give it to Sam Brookfield. Sam, he's came in, by the short amount of time that he has had to come in and do what he has to do. He's came in and, actually exceeded from what I expected, because it's hard to play back. For most people, it's not really easy for you to just come in and fit right into the group and, direct things how you're supposed to. So I think he's doing real good.
Does it help knowing that you have guys in the secondary that, are going to make those plays? Like if something happens and someone gets past a, running back or, wide receiver, that you have guys that can make plays in the secondary?
Yes, most definitely. We trust all our guys. We feel like all our guys can make the play. So when we go out there, we work on doing our job, and trusting the man behind us.
So you guys get to actually go to a lot of really cool places this year. Is there a particular place that you're looking forward to visiting?
Not really, but of course, we play Sanford at Stanford, so I've never been to California, so that would be something good to see.
Absolutely.
Whether it's the hype or the criticisms from everyone in the community, how do you handle that mentally going from game to game or day to day?
It's really, just not worrying about it. I try not to worry about it. I don't really worry about it. I don't, for the most part, I don't see it because I don't really look for those kind of things. I know my coach got me, and I know he's going to tell me what I do wrong and what I do right. So, and not only him but me. I know what I got going on, and for the most part, I know what I'm supposed to do. So, if I did something wrong, I know I did it wrong. Or if I'm this type of way, I already know what it is. So, I'll be able to fix it.
So last year we talked about, you guys kind of settling into things and, really kind of trying to put all the pieces together. We've kind of hit that point, right, where all the pieces are where they're supposed to be for the most part. How does it feel going into this season knowing that, now you can just really focus on the football side of things? You don't really have to find where pieces are going.
It's a little bit for me. It's like a little surreal feeling because I feel as if just if you put it on paper, we are complete. But there's always something that we can do better. With the pieces, the new additions, the old pieces that was here. There's always something that we can improve on, and that's the most exciting part about this. That everybody, saying that, oh, this team is this and that, but we have the mindset of we can't live up to everybody else's expectations if we're not putting the work in on the field and in the weight room. And that's really contagious, and that's what's exciting that the new pieces and the old pieces has. It's like, man, we can go up and just text somebody like, look, you want to go ahead and get extra work in at this time, and everybody in the whole text thread like, all right, when we meeting up, it's like that, So it's really nice to have this type of feeling going into the season.
Yeah. So I was talking to APR about the mentality of getting to the quarterback. How much do you guys? I mean, you guys have improved from year to year to year at getting to the quarterback. How much more do you think that you guys can improve in that aspect?
Man, it's really there's not a limit. You just gotta keep we always say the ball is the issue. So once the snap goes, there's a timer in our head. Look, we got this much seconds to get to him and bring him down to the ground. So the ball is the issue, and it's every day we're gonna keep striving to get better. We watch tapes. One day maybe I have a great day in pass rushing, and then the next day I lose every single rep. That means I need to improve better. I need to be more consistent. And you can be like this, but you can never be like this. That's what they always tell us. We just got to keep going right here and going up. And I think that's the most exciting part about getting to the quarterback and with this group.
Is there a particular position group that stood out to you at camp?
Ooh, I would say the O-line for sure. The O-line definitely got better for sure.
With the offensive line, they were able to kind of stay healthy throughout the season, and a lot of going into this year, everyone's talking about their communication style and things like that, where they've improved on. On the offensive side of the football, what do you think the ceiling is for those guys?
There is no ceiling. Everybody says the sky's the limit, but you can't say that if there's footprints on the moon. so there's really no ceiling. It's just the whole team. There is no ceiling. We can succeed everybody else's expectation and more. Same thing with us. Same thing with them. Same thing with special teams. Like, we can do this. And that's our mindset. We can do this, but we have to do this. Put the work in first.
How do you differ from your personal expectations of how you want this team to go, whether it's the community's expectations?
Can you repeat that again?
Okay. Your expectations. Is there anything that differs from whether it's your teammates or the community or from yourself? Like, what expectations do you have this year?
Really, our
really drives you.
It's really just go 1-0 every single week. Like I mentioned before to somebody, it's whenever you compete in anything, whether it's water polo, cook-off, whatever it is, you want to win. So that's our expectation, is to go 1-0 every week, and we have to have that mindset to get better every single week. We can't just be like, oh, this is what somebody said, all right, so let's go ahead and try to live up to it. If you try to live up to somebody else's expectations, you're not going to fulfill nothing. That's probably a little gem that I could drop my time here. Like, you can't fulfill everybody else's expectations. When you try to, you're not going to succeed in nothing.
You mentioned water polo. Is there a particular Olympic sport that you can weigh into?
Look, okay. So everybody knows. I'm never afraid to open up. So everybody knows I'm Polynesian, so I'm Samoan descent. I can't swim. One here. But I have seen the guy who something Fink, or Finke. He set the world record in the 1,500 meter freestyle, whatever it is. And I'm like, I would be tired just jumping in. But watching people swim and do what they do in the water makes me want to go ahead and learn how to swim, for sure. But
we'll teach you, Fuga. We got you.
All right, man. There's a lot of parity from last year to this year with all the guys returning. But what's different about this year's squad in comparison to last year's?
Certainly, there's some maturity with the guys coming back, but I still think every year's a new team, right? Things happen between a season and an off season as far as guys' development. Rosters change, so still the approach is this is a new team, right? We talk about to the offense, like this 2024 Virginia Tech offense will be genuine to us, and it will be the personality that's very unique to us, right? And we've got to decide what we want to make it. So you still approach it the same way. I think if you say, oh, we have all this experience and maturity coming back, and we skip over the 100 level things that are going to allow us to be successful, that leads to things not going well. So we really approach it the same way. Obviously, the benefit from a coaching standpoint is you do understand strengths and weaknesses, and you have seen some of those things in live action, right? That can create a picture in your mind, both positive and negative, for each player of what their strengths and weaknesses are. So I think that those are the big takeaways that we get from having that group back. But you're also able to build, right? You're able to build. You're going to start 100 level, but you're able to build with those older guys, bring your younger guys along. I think that kind of paints the picture.
And you mentioned a lot about development. How has Ali developed over the course of having that off season to rest and recover and get back to 100%?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. He's healthy. He looks healthy in practice. He looks like his own self. He's back. He's fast. He's sudden. He's doing a great job making plays on the ball. He's such a vet and a leader. I think I can see him coaching and bringing younger guys along, which is, you really can't quantify the impact that that's going to have on the room as well. So all of those things, I think he had a great offseason. He approached it with a great mindset, and I'm excited to see what he can do for us this fall.
What's one player that's kind of flying under the radar that you wish more people took notice of coming into this season?
I don't know if I even want to answer that. There's so many candidates. I would say, that's pretty unique to us. I'm not going to say a player, but I think what's unique to us, I think a lot of guys are flying under the radar. We're nowhere near, and I think that's the big message to the team. We're nowhere near where we wanted to be at the end of last year. At the end of the day, that was a 7-6 team, right? Not what we came to Virginia Tech to do, not what a player or a coach came to Virginia Tech to do. So I would say the mentality is we have a lot of guys flying under the radar right now that have a chance to make an impact on a bigger stage.
So is that the mindset that you prefer, kind of that like underdog, like under the radar type mentality?
I don't know if it's a mentality, but I think if a coach or a player, if you don't have a chip on your shoulder every day to prove it, we're not going to be able to get the most out of our ability level. So I think we approach every year that way.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.